Hey guys, so I want to share kind of like my trading journey from the start and how I started and the steps that took me to where I am now. So I really found out about day trading. It was like October 2024. That's when I started seeing TJR on my For You page. And at the time, I didn't know who he was or what he did. It was just like his funny videos popping up on my For You page. But then as time passed, like they started coming up of the ones of him trading. And so I was like, did he just really make that much? It was like 300,000 in one trade. And I was like, that is crazy. That's like the average person's like 3 or 4 years of working, and he just made that in a day, in like a couple hours. And so at first I was like skeptical. I was like, there's no way this is true. Like, there's no way, because everyone would be doing it, right? And so I went to the comments, and I seen that there was a lot of people like around and I knew he was like my age around. I think he was like 21, 22 at the time. And when I went to the comments and seen other young people like myself, and they were saying like, oh, I took the same trade and I made like 1,500, or like, oh yeah, I just like made whatever. And I was like, there is no way. Like, how did I not know about this before? So I started looking into it more, and I seen like a lot of people saying it was like super risky. So I didn't really, I mean, I wanted to pursue it, but I also didn't really know how. So I just kind of left it at that. I would still see him on like my For You page, and then other day traders started popping up on my For You page, but I never really took action towards it because I just thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. Even though I was into investing, like I invested in stocks and stuff, maxed out my TFSA and stuff, but I just thought I wasn't able to do it. And so then it was January of 2025. So this is when I say I really started, because that's when I actually started taking action towards learning to day trade. And I found out that TJR had a free boot camp on his YouTube. And I was like, that's perfect. So I started that right away. I think it took me like 2 or 3 weeks to finish the whole 60 days. And I felt great. I felt like I understood everything pretty well. So that time was when I was on like Christmas break, so my break between fall semester and like spring semester. So I was able to really dedicate my time to that. But when I finished the boot camp and actually opened a demo account, that is when my spring semester started up again. And it was a pretty hefty semester. I had a lot of courses, full course load, and so I kind of fell off a little bit again. I wasn't really focused. I wasn't demo trading every day. Maybe like once a week I would get a trade off, even at that. And I also wasn't watching any more videos to progress my learning. So I was kind of at a standstill. I still really wanted to pursue day trading, but at the time I was just really busy. And also real estate. I'm a real estate agent, so real estate really picks up in the spring. So it started really picking up, and I kind of just left day trading there. I always thought I would go back to it, but just I didn't know when. And so then this is the crazy part, because I feel like everything's just intertwined and like everything happens for a reason. And so this is just a crazy story. So I had a client. I don't even remember how we got in touch. I'll have to go back and see. But she was from another province in Canada, and she was moving to the province that I am a real estate agent in. And so I never really meet clients for coffee. Like, we normally just meet at the house and we chat there. But we met for coffee before going to see the houses that we were going to view. And something to note about me is I'm not the best in like conversations, so I normally just sit there and like smile and nod. I don't really ask questions. And she was telling me about how she had like her own business and whatever, but for some reason I felt like a pull to ask her like, oh, what's your business? Like, you said you had a business, what's your business? And so I did. And guys, she's like, I say business, but I'm a day trader. My jaw literally dropped to the floor, and I was like, you're joking. I didn't know what else to say. I was like, you're joking. And she's like, no, that's what I do. I said, that is crazy, because I'm also learning to day trade, and like I didn't think anyone else did it. Like, I didn't even know it was a real thing. And so she kind of, like, she was really excited about that. We connected over that, and she started telling me about how she learned. And mind you, this is an older lady, okay? This is an older lady who, you know, most times they're not the best on technology and stuff. So I was shocked that she understood this, and she's super smart though, so that's probably why. But she was telling me that during COVID, like when everything was on lockdown, she wanted to find a way that she could make income still, and she taught herself how to day trade. So I think she said it took her like a year and a half or 2 years before she started making actual money from it, but she taught herself, and that was so inspiring to me. And so we went to go view houses after. Mind you, the money that she was using to buy houses was from day trading, so she makes enough to live, let's just say that. And we were looking at some pretty nice houses. But yeah, so before I even got home, okay, when we were done viewing the houses, I drove straight to Chapters and I bought 2 trading books, and I got home and I read both of them that week. Okay, that is when I locked in ever since then. But just hearing that was so inspiring, like that she wanted a change in her life, and she taught herself this skill that was able to make her money to live a better life. And so that's when I really started to, I woke up every day and was demo trading. And yes, I was still doing like school, so I was still pretty busy. But really, it was like the beginning of June to the end of July is when I was like fully locked in on my paper trading account. So I was waking up every morning and trading New York Open and just really taking it seriously. And it was the beginning of August when I decided I wanted to open a live account. So I invested $1,000, and I was like, you know what, my university courses are like $1,500, so like what's the difference? So I'm investing $1,000 into myself to learn this skill. And so that's what I did. I put $1,000 into a live account. And the crazy part is, so I was still trading TJR's strategy, the one that he teaches, the ICT concepts. And so the first week of live trading, this is like crazy because I still don't know what happened. But the first week of trading live, I made $800. And I was only risking like $50 a trade. And I made $800. It wasn't even a week. It was 4 trading days. 4. And I made $800. So, I mean, obviously at that time I thought I cracked the code. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I learned in like 6 months I'm going to be rich. Like, that's crazy. Mind you, I don't know. Again, I still don't know what happened. I was only really trading off fair value gaps. I knew what order blocks and breaker blocks were, but I still wasn't able to really identify them in the market, so I was just trading off fair value gaps. Again, I don't know what happened. I think I just got lucky. I was bottom ticking. But then after those 4 days, then I couldn't win again. So I was on a losing streak completely, and I was like, what happened? Like, I thought I cracked the code. And yeah, I was just on a losing streak. And I know a lot of people say that like price action between September and December is like horrible, and that could have been why. But the other thing is I was not backtesting at all. And that's because the strategy I was using required a lot of effort to like mark out the charts. And also the thing I didn't like about that strategy was that I would have to sit and watch the market. So I traded gold and NASDAQ. So that means I was on the charts from like 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. because with the strategy, I have to watch basically every candle that's forming. And look for fair value gaps and order blocks and breaker blocks being formed and sweeps of liquidity, and just where price is going and what it's doing. So that to me, it was really draining because I would just be sitting in front of my computer for like those 4 or 5 hours every morning. And it wasn't great. I didn't love it. And so when I started not being able to win a trade either, that also just kind of drained me. And it got to a point where I didn't even want to open the charts anymore. I just had no motivation to trade, honestly. Like mid-October to mid-November, I just didn't want to trade. And I honestly wasn't. And that's when I kind of was like, okay, I think it's time for a switch. I was like, I don't want a strategy that I have to sit and watch the charts. I want something that I'm able to look at the charts, see exactly what price is doing, where it's going, maybe set some alerts, and go about my day until it's time to enter. And that's when I came across Trades by Sai, so the ICC strategy. And I seen that he had a boot camp, and maybe some of you guys have started following me because you see my series going over his course. That was great. I had a lot of positive feedback on that. And that's what really changed everything for me, is going over his course. From day one, I felt like I understood the strategy completely. It was super easy for me to grasp the concepts. And yes, that may have been because I've been learning for the past 8-10 months. But it was different concepts. Like in the strategy I was training, we never talked about indication, correction, or continuation before. So that was all new. But yeah, it was just really simple and easy to grasp. And so when I was done his boot camp, I literally learned his strategy in like 2 days. It was crazy. And so I started back testing the strategy because it was super easy to mark out. Like, you can look at the chart and see exactly what's happening. You mark out the buyer support, you mark out the seller support, and you just wait for an indication, correction, you scale down, and you enter. So it was super easy to backtest. I could just do round after round after round after round, and I was getting a lot of reps in, and it was working. Like, the first 5 trades I did on my backtesting, they all worked out. So 5 out of 5, they worked out. And so, yes, I still have my live account, but obviously when I switch strategy, I'm gonna practice on my demo for a bit. So I was paper trading for like a week or two, and it was working out almost every single time. Like, it was amazing, and I was so shocked, and I liked it so much because, like, it literally tells you where to put the take profit. You don't have to worry about, oh, is there a 4-hour fair value gap here? Like, do I put my take profit here? Or what if it goes through and it inverses it? Like, with ICT, I feel like there's just so many confluences that you have to look for that it gets overwhelming, it gets confusing, and you don't know what actually works. But with this strategy, because it's so simple, it's like you don't need to worry about everything else. You don't need to worry about that. You see the indication on the higher time frame, you waited for the correction on the 15 or the 5 minute, you wait for it to break out of the buyer's or seller support and make a change of character, and you enter in. You put your stop loss below the previous low and you target the indication. Like, it's just super simple, and I really liked it. So that was a huge turning point for me. And the other thing is, I was posting on like TikTok for when I was doing the ICT strategy, and there's a couple great people that I met who trade that, but there's also some who weren't so nice. And I'm not saying that like everyone who trades that is not nice. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't know. I was just getting a lot of people where I was already like posting my journey, saying that I didn't know what I was doing, and they would come back and be like, "Oh, you entered in wrong. Like, you suck. Like, why would you put your stop loss there?" And I'm like, because I'm still learning and I'm posting my journey, and that's I'm sharing that. Like, you don't need to be judgmental. But and yes, of course, I know, like, when you post on social media, you're gonna get that. But with ICC, I never got that. And the only people who do it still are the ones who trade ICT. But with ICC, I never got that. Like, everyone was super supportive, and it's almost like I like found my community. Like, the people who trade ICC, like, I feel like they're so helpful, and I got so much positive feedback on my videos. I have people messaging me saying that they're learning and that, like, they loved my videos because it helped them, and like, we're just all helping each other out, and I love it so much. And we actually just hit 8,000 followers on TikTok, which is crazy, and I'm so happy. And like, it's just crazy to think that 8,000 of you guys are following along on my trading journey. And I'm also loving my Discord community. It's completely free if you guys want to join, but I created that, and I just love how everyone's talking and helping each other, and they're like, oh, is this an indication, or is this a correction? Like, it's great to see. And that's kind of what I've always wanted with trading, is like this strategy that is simple, that everyone's able to learn and everyone's able to connect with, and just this whole community that comes together and just helps each other out. And I feel like I finally found that. So where I am now, I'm super happy. I'm still trading on my live account, but I'm hoping to get a funded. I'm gonna try probably for the eval next week. I've done it once before, but that was during the time where like Top Step had like their shutdown or whatever, so I ended up getting a refund on that account just because that really messed me up. So this is really going to be my first time trying for an eval. I never really did it before because I've heard so much like controversy on like people having trouble with payouts, but I don't know if I believe that. And also, it's just, I feel like it's better, like, you invest into like, what is it, like $200 for the 150k account or something, and then you don't have to worry about like risking $50 every trade, because you put in that 250 and then you're using someone else's capital. So I really like that. So that's definitely gonna be my next step. But yeah, I'm super happy and grateful for where I am in my trading journey now. I feel like everything's starting to finally take a turn. And if you told me this like a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have believed you, because I honestly was so close to quitting when I was on like that losing streak and trading with my old strategy. But yeah, this new strategy is amazing, and I have like a newfound sense of motivation, and especially with you guys and all my followers, like I love posting for you all, and I love that you guys love seeing what I post and about my journey. So that's super uplifting, and I just love the position that I'm in right now. um, my goal is to obviously be profitable trading, and to a point where I feel confident in being able to teach other people, because that's all I ever want to do, is help other people to get to where I am. And obviously I'm not where I want to be yet, but once I am, I just can't wait to share that and help everyone else out there who is on the trading journey, and just get to a spot that you've just always dreamed of. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I hope you guys really are enjoying my content. I'm going to try to be posting at least one YouTube video a week, and then of course I post like TikTok videos every day. So if you guys don't already follow me on there, definitely go check that out. I hope you really liked this video and you kind of got to know me and my journey a little better.